Me Saeed Saatchi. I'm the founder of SimpliTend. I started this company about 3 years ago after I retired, and we launched our first application about a year and a half ago, and since then we've been improving the application, making updates and changes to it. Let me step back a little bit and tell you where how this SimpliTend came to existence. Many years ago, like many of you, I was a caregiver. I cared for my mother while I was working, and have family of my own, and also traveling for business. I shared the caregiving with my sister, and we really did with the best we could. And it was a meaningful experience for me, taking care of my mom during the old ages. And but it was also very overwhelming. And many times I didn't have the tools or um, tools that actually I needed. Now, after my mother passed several years ago, and I retired, I finally had time to um, reflect on the experience that I had caregiving, and and I realized that the experience that actually I went through wasn't unique, and it's part of the uh, story in our country. There's a lot of people that caregiving in the United States. And that's why I created this application. And it wasn't a tech project for me. It was a very meaningful project. I wanted to make sure that caring is simple and easy, and reduce the stress for the family caregivers. Okay, before I go and talk about the application itself, let me just go through some background. Uh, to be honest with you, when I was going through the caregiving experience for my mother, I really honestly thought that my situation was unique, and but then I realized that when I looked into it, there are 63 million Americans are caregivers. That means 1 out of 4 adults are caring for an older relative, spouse, or somebody with disabilities. And 73% of the caregivers are also working. That means they're not only caring for their loved ones, they're also juggling work and travel. So there's a lot of people out here out in the United States that that are have this problem. And why this matters is because it's all the load is on the family members, and it coordination between working and caregiving is chaotic, and therefore they need a technology that reduces that stress for them and burnout. This.
That just froze for a moment.
Statistics, but the caregiving itself, the day-to-day caregiving, um, is important to understand. One is that the caregiving needs changes. Something happens. Somebody falls, or somebody have a reaction to the medication, or just something happens and things changes, and you have to whatever you have to do, you have to stop and manage that. There are 90% of the older adults in the United States, they want to stay at home. They want to live at home and be independent. They don't want to go to nursing home, nursing facilities. They don't want to go anywhere else. They want to stay home. And what that means is that these older adults are actually at home. They're spending a lot of time alone at home. They're they get the phone calls from these. They get the sales call. They get the scam calls. They may go for a walk and they get disoriented, um, and they can't find their way back home, or just something emergency happens to them, and their loved ones are not with them. And caregivers, they want help. They want people to help them. But to be honest with you, they don't have the energy or time to explain the caregiving information to somebody else. They can't explain, okay, so what the medication schedule, what this person's allergy is, what this diet requirement is, what kind of need they have during the day. And even if if they explain it to them, to other people, when people go, they help, they always worry about, okay, are they doing it right? Or they're not doing it right? And every family member wants to have visibility. I remember my brother, he was in California. He used to call us and, weekly basis. He wanted to know what's going on. Is my mom okay or not okay or whatever? And sometimes you just don't have the energy to talk to people and explain to people. And the last thing is caregivers need guidance, need information. I became caregiver overnight. So I had no idea what the disease I was getting into, the stages or the medication, impact. I remember my mom was hallucinating because of the wrong medication or the reaction to a medication. And I had to Google stuff and get this information. So there's there's a lot that goes on day to day for the family members who care for their loved ones. Okay, so that's the statistics, and that's what happens for the caregivers. Uh, what caregivers need is a simple tool. They don't need complicated stuff. They need a simple tool that help them organize information, organize the medication schedule, the routine. They put all the care information in there. They need a tool that can adapt. Um, if the person, if somebody comes from the hospital, they have a procedure, they come home, now all of a sudden the person is very independent, but while they're recovering at home, they can't manage their medication or they can't manage anything. So they need more support from the family member. Or they may recover quickly and now they want to care for themselves. And so thing changes. That tool need to adjust to it. Safety. If the senior or the care recipient is home alone, you want to make sure you keep him safe. And communication, and also guidance and information to the caregiver. So that's what you want to have in the tool to support. And on top of it, you want to make sure it's simple for them to use. Okay, now let's talk about the SimpliTend platform. So when we put all these together, we created 3 modules for SimpliTend. It's an application, it's a phone application. It goes on your Android phone or iPhone. And we created these 3 modules for the SimpliTend platform. The module 1, we call it daily care and support. This is the core features of the caregiving: medication management, routine management, care information, and the resource hub for the caregiver. Resource hub is a database that they can go and get information. So that's our core features for the caregiving. Now, I'll explain to you how I created a module as we developed the product. So we created the core features first and then the safety features. Second, the safety features included real-time location, the geofence, SOS, and other safety features such as, for example, there's an option there to block the sales calls or block the unwanted calls to the person. So all the unwanted calls will go to the voicemail. So we create the safety and independence features. So when we launched our application about a year and a half ago, it has these two modules in there. Since then, we had a lot of time talking to the caregivers, home care agencies, and also care recipients to see what they need from the shared care, from information and communication perspective. And that's where we designed the third module. And actually, we're still tweaking the third module. The final module is going to be released in about 2 weeks. So the shared module, now you can have up to 10 care partners. So a caregiver, a family member who's caring for somebody, they can assign somebody else as a care partner. The care partner can view all the care information. They can view module 1. So the care partner sees what their medication schedule is, what the routine is, what the care information is, and they can change it too. So if they go and care for somebody and they realize that actually the medication has changed, they can up to the medication, and all the care partners and caregivers would see it in real time. So the care information, the module 1, is a real-time update for all the care partners, and they have visibility into it. Number 2 is we have daily notes there. That means if somebody goes and cares for a person or primary caregiver, they can take daily notes. And I explained to you what's in the daily notes. It's a simple text files that they can put information in there. Did they have, for example, their meals? Did they go for a walk? What they did? What kind of mood they were? So they can put all that in the daily notes, and we save up to 30 days of daily notes, and you can export it. And exporting daily notes is important for if you have home care agencies that they want to save this and see it, or the primary caregiver, they can see the daily notes for up to 30 days and they can save them. And now they can see a trend. If the person, for example, is not eating as much, or they have more episode of hallucination or whatever, they can see a trend in a person's health. Any questions so far? This is the care module, the heart of the application.
I assume that the caregiver is the one with the phone.
Yes, caregiver has a phone, but I explained to you in one situation, the care recipient also could have a phone, but caregiver is the one that has the phone. Yes.
Oh, well, now, how does the geofencing and real-time location, the person themselves has to have something on them?
Yes.
So
that's the next chart I explained to you. That's good, very good questions.
Hey, Saeed.
Yes.
Well, can you make a copy of this presentation available to us?
Yes, I'll send it to. I'll send the presentation to John. He can distribute it. I don't have everybody's email, but I'll forward it to John.
No, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
If you do things like take the blood pressure or that type of stuff, does that go in the daily notes or on the medication management? Or?
That could go in the daily notes. That could go in the daily notes. The heart rate, blood pressure, those information can go to daily notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What format are the notes in, Saeed? Are they straight text notes or?
The notes are in text. The export file is CSV.
Okay.
So you can bring it over, Excel file, whatever.
It's an Excel file.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And you see
You brought up something interesting about the trending, and I know from my limited experience, monitoring some of the, whether it's blood pressure or what's going on with daily insulin injections and things like that. Yes, things change, but you'd want to have more than 30 days. Also, this it seems like this is geared towards individuals as opposed to bringing a medical professional in as part of the team.
Correct. This is for consumers. Yes, this is for individuals. Yes.
Okay.
Well, a medical professional, a nurse, a practical nurse could be one of the care partners, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That was my next question.
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, you mentioned the daily notes for 30 days. We keep the 30 days of daily notes, but you can export it and you can keep, 30-day chunk of it for many months.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay.
No, I got it.
Okay. So, so when we put these modules together, we support different care modes. We try to support different care modes. And for each care modes, we ask a simple question. So actually, when you install the application on your phone, when you do the registration, you put your information in there, it asks you one question: who are you caring for? Okay, and you select the answer. We have 3 answers there. You select one. And if your answer is I'm managing my own care, then the application would adjust itself and you get the simple screen and simple application that shows the core caring features. So this is for somebody that actually is independent. They don't need a family to take care of them. They're just managing their own care. And all they want to do is check the medication and routine. So they have all this information they can use and they manage their own care. Now, if your answer to that question is I'm managing someone else's care, now you get the first module, the care module, plus the care sharing module. So now that person can, care for the person and share up to 10 partners and have the daily notes and, share the information. If the answer to that question is caring for someone who will use the app, now, to John's point there, now is actually 2 applications. So one application is for the caregiver and one application is for care recipient. And these 2 applications are linked. That's how we do the real-time location and geofence, SOS, and all those. So if the care recipient, they can press a button on their phone and call for SOS button, and the caregiver would get notified. So that's how the applications are linked. The 2 applications are cross-platform compatible. That means caregiver could be an Android phone and care recipient could be in the Apple phone. They still communicate, they still work, no problem, or vice versa. Okay.
Is it necessary that it be an Apple phone for the person being cared? Could they just use an Apple Watch?
It has to be a phone to download the application. You could send a notification to your watch, right?
Well, I'm thinking that the person who is being cared for might not have pockets, but they could wear a watch 24 hours a day.
Yeah, but John, this is an app that you're getting through the App Store.
Yeah.
Can you download apps from the App Store to your iWatch?
Yeah.
Through your phone. I think through your phone, right?
Well, yes, you can add an app if it's been set up for the Apple Watch. You can send it to the watch. Like I have lots and lots of apps on my watch, and they link to my phone. So the phone can be someplace in the house on a charger, but the person's wearing the watch, and it has the geofencing, real-time location.
The simple answer right now is no. It's the app on the phone. Okay. You can send the notifications like if it's time to take a medication, that notification to your watch by notification.
Yeah.
But we don't have the app to go work completely on the watch. So we don't have it right now. But that's a good point. I took a note of that. That's an interesting point.
Saeed,
Yes.
you went through from down at the bottom, manage my own care, went to caring for someone who will use the app, and then managing someone else's care. Three different modules, for lack of a better term.
Correct.
Now, I'm thinking about some of my relatives. If they got it to manage their own care, do they have the ability to take their own notes? Can they set up care partners? Does it have real-time location for them and an SOS feature for them? So if my aged uncle is on his own, lives independently, he's on his own, could he use this app as managing my own care and still have a repository of his caregiver, potential caregivers, his care partners, the SOS feature, the ability to take his own daily notes, things like that? Or is it not set up for things like that?
It's not set up. It has to go to it has to use the third module, the caring for someone. So you have to set up a caregiver for him. So you have to be his caregiver. He cannot take his own notes. The caregiver would fill out the daily notes.
Okay.
One question: do you have any customers who live in a nursing home? I mean, the caregiver could be people in the nursing home and that type of stuff.
Yes, it could be. Right now, my customers are mainly people living at home. They're not at nursing home. So they could be, but I don't have customers that actually I know of from information that I have that actually in nursing home. Most of the customers I have, they are consumers that live at home and they have a family member caring for them.
Okay. Saeed, you're right down the road. You're in Middletown, right?
Yes.
Okay. Locally, VNA, do you have any customers that are part of VNA where they, the nurses are caring for someone in their home or stopping by?
No.
It seems like that.
I don't know. I don't know.
That would be the.
Yes. If you have connection there, I was going to actually talk to you guys. If you have any connection there, I would love to talk to them about the application.
Does the real-time location make use of air tags or something similar, or do they actually have to carry the phone with them?
You have to carry the phone with them. The application is in the phone.
So they would like wear it. They could wear it around their neck in a pouch, like a waterproof pouch or something like that, like the button things that people wear, except this time it would be a phone.
Yeah.
So any thoughts to upgrading to use something like an AirTag?
AirTag and Tile.
Yeah.
Not right now, but we can talk about it and actually see what it takes. I gotta understand it better before I can answer your question, really. Okay.
Saeed, You could put Richard on the back burner. He's in Australia.
By the way, Richard, just for your information, we launched the application in US and Canada right now. So the applications are available in US and Canada. In future we may, include other countries, but right now these are the two countries that are actually included. Just FYI. So let's go through each cases a little bit more detail. So as I said, if the person selects as managing my own care, when they register their name, they see a screen like this, and we ask a question, who are you caring for? And if they select managing my own care, then they get a screen like this. Once this is completed and registration is completed, and as you can see, their names show up over here. This is a activity schedule, medication schedule. This is the resource hub here. What the resource hub is a database that we have created, and we keep improving the database and adding more information to the database. Right now, we have information about certain diseases like dementia, Parkinson's, a little bit of cancer information. We have self-care information for the caregiver in there. But on a daily basis, we are looking to improve this database and add more information in there. Each day, you see a new article show up over here, and if you click on View More, you can see the entire database, and you can search on the articles that you want to see. One thing I want to talk about right over here, actually, our names, our pictures are covering it. There's a button there called Care Hub. And what Care Hub is when you click on it, that's where you see all your information. You can click on this screen and add the medication in there, or go to Care Hub and click on medication or activities, add schedule for medication or doctor's appointment or whatever you want in there. I want to talk about the care information button over here. The care information is a screen that you can update and put health information in there. You can put the primary doctor information there, hospital, daily care needs, your allergies, your diet information. Even when you're caring for yourself, you can put in that information in there. I know some people who actually are very much independent and they're caring for themselves, and they don't use caregivers. Once in a while, once a week or once a month, maybe there's a nurses actually go to their house to check up on them, and they can show their medication schedule, they can show their care information on their phone to them, and they can see it, and they have all the information in front of them. So that's why we kept the information in there.
If you click on the phone number there, does it go to the phone, or you have to dial the phone from that number?
No, you have to dial. That's the phone number. You have to dial it. Okay. Next is, managing someone else's care. This is, again, you answer the question there. You click that button, and when you set up the app, you get this very simple, pretty much the same home screen. Oops, well, what's going on? Pretty much the same home screen. Same home screen. Now you see the care recipient name on top here. I think I'm clicking the button here when I do this. You see the care recipient name here, but the rest of the screen very similar. When you go to the Care Hub, not Care Hub, you have more information here in the Care Hub for this care mode. In addition to medication and care information and activities, you have a button here for care partners, and you have a button down here for daily notes. If you click the care partner, you can add care partners here. All you have to do is put this person's name and email address in there. We send them a secure email address to that person, and they can use that, secure password to that email, and the care partner can use their email address and the secure password to log in. They don't need to register to the app. They can download the app and simply log in with that secure password, and then they can change the password once they log in. All the care partners and caregivers can see the care information, all the medication schedule, everything, they can see it. They can also update it. They can update the medication, for example, schedule, and all the care partners will see it in real time. So it's all real time, they can see it. If the primary caregiver, before I go there, everybody can see the care information, but only one person can get the notification, reminders, for example. So if there's a medication reminder, only one person gets the reminders, but everybody can see the schedule. And mainly the primary caregiver would get the reminder. If primary caregiver, for example, goes on vacation or take a day off or go to work, they can select another care partner to get the reminder. All they have to do to click the switch, click it on, and that way that care partner would get the notifications. Okay, and then when they come back from vacation or they come back, they can turn it off, and now all the notifications forwarded to the primary caregiver.
What happens if you're taking care of more than one person?
This is only a caregiver to one care recipient. We have only covered many to one, many care partners to one care recipient.
But if you're taking care of two, you have to download two apps, download the app twice with two different people?
No, you can't download the app twice. You can only so it's only one. They can only care for one person.
Okay, Saeed. Years ago, my sister-in-law was the primary caregiver to both my parents. They both had medical issues, and she was a stay-at-home mom, so she had responsibility for caring for both of them, along the lines of Ralph's question.
Yeah.
Would that you can't handle something like that now?
I can't handle something like that right now because to be honest with you, we spend a lot of time thinking about that situation, like one to many, and to keep this application simple, and because now you get notification from different people and for different care recipients, and you have to somehow manage through it. It gets confusing.
Well, do you have the feature, like if I have multiple accounts, like we talked about Dropbox, there's usually a place where you go and you click on your name and you say switch accounts. So I log out of one and I log into the other one.
Let me make a note on that.
So, I have to be able to log out. So I log out of one and I log into the other one. Then they don't get mixed up. And you're only using the same app and you get connected to a different person.
Yes.
Now, the question would be if you were the primary caregiver on both of those people and you signed out of one, would you still get the notification for the one that you signed out of? If you
No.
still got the notification because it's being sent to your telephone number, like a message, then it's no problem.
No, it goes to the app. So if you log out of the app, you
Yeah.
don't get the notification for that person. But you can log out one app and log in to the log in with different email address to the second app and get all the notifications there. But again, you know, if you log out one application, you won't get notification from that application.
You can only have one. You can only have the app on your phone. Only a single version of the app on your phone.
You can only have a
download
single
it.
version. Yes.
Right.
Because when you download a new one, it just updates, you know, it tells you that you have an application. You can update it.
No, Saeed, it's impressive. It's impressive. I think John might have oversold it and told you that we were an easy crowd. He didn't tell you that we were going to run you through.
No, I know you guys are computer people, so I didn't expect it's going to be easy.
Well, does this work in a browser as well? Like Facebook has an app, but I can log into facebook.com. Can I log into SimpliTend.com and do what I have to do as a caregiver?
Not yet. We did talk about it. We did have a discussion on this actually a couple of months ago, but we haven't. We were doing other stuff, so it could be on the roadmap. We can add it to the roadmap again. But we were trying to finish up this care partner that we are launching in a couple of weeks. So having our applications run on the browser, we held off on that because this was, you know, care partners was more important. We wanted to launch that one first. So that could come later, maybe, you know, but we did discuss it, and there was a plan to support that, but we stopped it for the care partner features.
I understand. I mean, first you have to get enough customers paying to support doing the additional work.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. No, it is important. And again, we've been in the market for a year and a half now, and to be honest with you, we don't have that many customers yet. You know, we have about 50, 60 customers right now on this app. So we're just starting.
That's really pretty good, actually.
Is it? I don't know. You know. Okay, so let me just finish up this point over here. The next thing is daily notes. Again, you know, you can add daily notes. You know, here on this screen, each daily note that you add, you will see whoever updates it. You see the initial here. We keep up to like 3 initials here. So you know who updated daily notes, and we keep up to 30 days. You can click on this button and download the daily notes and send it to somebody else. Again, primary caregiver only can do this thing. All the care partners can update the daily notes, but the export is only done by the primary caregiver.
Can you add multiple notes a day?
No, one note a day. They can update it. Everybody can update it multiple times. But at the end of the day, for that date, there's only one note.
Oh, but you can update the note multiple times a day.
Yes, you can update it up till midnight, you know.
Yeah.
But that after midnight, that gets stored as that date's note. Okay. And the daily note is actually very simple. You know, we have a field here for medication. We can add text to it. We have meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and also we have notes underneath it. So you can click yes or no for the meals and add additional notes down here. ADLs, you can put information in there, and other observation. So the information that you were talking about, the blood pressure or somebody, other information that you see is important, you can always add it to the other observations here. And when you export the file, as I said, it comes in as a CSV file, and it comes in, it shows all the fields as text, and it shows the date, it shows the care recipient's name, and the care partners that updated the notes. Okay. Now, if you're caring for someone who will use the app, now the caregiver, once you register, the caregiver application, the dashboard will look very similar to the other ones, but you see a screen over here shows the map. This map is the real-time location, shows the real-time location of the care recipient. And you can click on the map and get the full screen with more details in there. And care recipient, you select the care recipient over here with their email address, and they log in to the application. Now they see the same medication and activity schedules as you have. A caregiver has it on their phone, and care recipient can update this. It will show up real time on the caregiver's app or vice versa. They both get the notifications. However, if we had one situation, one of our care recipient, they didn't want to see notification. The person has some issues that would get agitated every time they get a notification. So we added feature in there to turn off the notification. So you can turn off a notification for the care recipient and just leave it on the caregiver. Or also, we have some care recipients that are actually more independent, and they can manage stuff. So caregiver can turn off some of the notifications. So, for example, they can turn off the medication notification, or can turn off other notifications that they see on their phone.
Saeed, is the communication over a cellular network or Wi-Fi or either one?
Either one. So it is on a cellular network, but if you're at home and connected to Wi-Fi, you're connected still.
Okay, so to go Wi-Fi, but if there's no Wi-Fi available, it would use the cellular network.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
So the other is we have 5 buttons over here. Hold on, let me see if I can make this thing smaller so you can see. Okay. We have 5 buttons on this screen. Call button, which is pretty clear. Chat with, it says Olivia, but chat with the caregiver. So we for care recipient, sometimes it's difficult for them to go to the menu to contact and find the person and send a text message to them. This way, there's a one button. They can press a button, send a text message to the caregiver, and caregiver has a button over here that will light up, and they can communicate, directly. So this doesn't need to. They can use the text message app on their phone, but they can also communicate through this button over here. There's a button over here is called direction. So if the care recipient goes for a walk, for example, and they get disoriented, they can press the direction button and they get walking direction home. There's a SOS button down here. It's pre-programmed to 911, but you can reprogram it to somebody else, like a neighbor or somebody in the building or a friend, if you don't want them to call 911. So every time if the care recipient look for direction or press a SOS button, the caregiver would get a notification. Okay. Okay. This app button. So we have two optional features for the care recipient. One is that I mentioned we can block the sales calls or any unwanted calls. The way we do it, and this actually works a lot better on Android than iPhone, because iOS doesn't give us the capability or the APIs to do a good job there. So this is mainly the Android feature. So we create a contact list for the care recipient. And the contact list is a short contact list of friend and family, or up to like 10 people as default, but you can increase it to 50 people there. The way we do the call blocking is that if the phone call that comes in and the phone number is not one of those people on the contact list, the short contact list for the care recipient, it goes to the voicemail. So the person, the care recipient, doesn't get all these spam calls or sales calls to them. So that's how we do the call blocking. And as I said, that works a lot better for the Android than iPhone. The other optional feature we have is app. There are some applications on the phone that they may have too many advertisement, or there's a banking application and you don't want some of the care recipient to have access to those applications. You can block those applications. This application don't open. So you can go through this feature and block those applications. And those are the two optional features that we have for the care recipient. Okay, any questions?
I thought that the iPhone now has the ability to block calls that are not in your contacts list, that's now an iPhone feature.
It's actually it's not I have to go back and actually look at it. I saw an article about that too, and my engineers actually are evaluating that to see if that's going to help us, because it wasn't working like that before. I think
No, it's a new feature.
Yeah, the way it was working before is that you have to manually block the person. You have to manually block the person versus just checking the contact list. And actually, there's an issue with that too, because when we design the call blocking for ourselves, you have to be very careful. Because if you call 911, for example, and hang up, somebody from police station is going to call you right away. So if you have a call blocking, now the police cannot call you. And that's the problem with call blocking. So you have to be able to work through those things. So I saw that article. I'm having my engineers actually reviewing it. If it's actually works, it makes our call blocking work better on iPhone, then we would update it. And that's actually one of the critical areas that actually we are looking at right now.
They keep changing things.
They do, and
you got to keep up with it.
To be honest with you, I mean, every time Android or iOS they come up with a new release, they change something, and they break something on us, and you have to go back and tweak the app. This iOS latest release, iOS 26, and they didn't make API changes, but they make a lot of UI changes, user experience changes that affected us, and we updated that. So I feel, or we feel that actually this SimpliTend helps families. We hope it will reduce the chaos by keeping everything in one place. organization, helping seniors to be safe and independent, sharing care easier, and overall provide the peace of mind for the caregivers. Where do we go from here? You know, I love this meeting, and I'd like to thank John for setting up this meeting, because I love talking to you guys, and I love talking to everybody. My goal is, my philosophy is, listen and then build, you know. So I'm listening to you guys. I make notes here, and that's how we did it from the beginning. You know, we try to listen to people like you and improve our application and make it easier and safer for everybody. You know, the technology. I'm a technology person. I love technology, but for this. We only integrate technology if it's going to reduce stress and enhance safety. And if we can do it and make the app simpler. There's a lot of technologies out there. They talk about AI and a lot of technologies out there. We are very careful with integrating technologies, and if it's not going to help us with the caregivers or make the application simpler or keep people safe, we won't do it. We only very selective on the technology. And number three, we want to. Our goal here is that to collaborate with, build partnership with aging service organization, caregiver group, community programs. My goal in 2026 is that build this partnership, because caregivers is everybody's problem, and we want SimpliTend to be part of the ecosystem. And I love it if you guys have connection in home care agencies or knowing caregivers. If you can introduce me to them, I would love it. You know, I'm actively working, trying to have connection with these agencies, but sometimes a personal introduction goes a long way. So SimpliTend, who's it for? You know, caregivers, the family members who are caring for their loved ones. You can download the app from Google Play or App Store. There is a subscription app. The subscription for managing my own care and managing someone else's care is $4.95 a month. And for caring for someone who will use the app is $8.95 a month.
Now, is that if you're managing someone else's care, is that $5 for the caregiver plus $5 for the recipient, or it's all covered?
It's all covered. So actually, if you caring for someone else, there's no care recipient app. If you're caring for someone who will use the app, then there is a caregiver app and a care recipient app, and it's $8.95 total. Caregiver would pay for it, and care recipient doesn't pay anything, so it's free. The care partner, go ahead, sorry.
At $5 a month here, you're $4.95 a month. There's only one person involved.
Yes.
Either I'm managing my own care or I'm managing someone else's care.
Correct.
One person only.
Yes.
If you want somebody to take care of you, or you want to take care of someone else, you have two people using the app, then you're at the $8.95. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, actually, one other thing I have to mention, to be transparent, for managing someone else's care and caring for someone who would use the app, you get one free care partner. So you can set up one free care partner. So care partner can download one care partner can download the app and visit everybody and see all the information and care notes and all that stuff is free. If you want more than one, you pay one payment, and not subscription, just one payment of $8.95, and you can get up to 10 partners. So it's not monthly, it's just one payment of $8.95. You get up to 10 partners.
Those partners, do they have to pay anything?
No. Then it's free for them. No, your care partners doesn't pay anything. Your care partner doesn't pay anything. The care recipient doesn't pay anything. Only caregiver pays.
So then you can switch, and you can switch between care partners, as you said, when somebody goes on a business trip or somebody's not available. So amongst those 10, or let's say there were just 4 people, you could switch between them, and it was that one cost for the package.
You get the package, you get up to 10 partner. If you go on vacation, you can turn on one of the partners to get notification, and you can switch between them.
Yeah.
And there's no additional fee there, but there's no additional fee, and those care partners don't have to pay anything.
So far, what category are most of your customers, or how do they divide up between managing my own care, managing someone else's care, and
Okay.
the third category?
Yeah. So when we started the app, as I said, we didn't have module 2 designed, right? Module 2 actually finished up before in October, module 2, and we're doing some more tweaks to it. And in 2 weeks, we're going to update module 2. So before October of last year, we only had one app that was caring for someone who will use the app. Since October, we have now 3 tiers or 3 mode of the caregiving. Since October of last year, we have 3 modes. So these 2 modes, the caring for managing my own care and managing someone else's care, it actually came to existence since October. So most of our customers are still caring for someone who will use the app. However, I feel that moving forward, most of the customers are going to be in the blue section, managing someone else's care. Oops. Okay.
What was the largest challenge or one or two of the biggest challenges in getting this thing into the App Store or Google Store?
So initially, there were many challenges. The number one challenge that we had was that, most of the applications that actually people write, they write the application at a higher level. So they write one application that it is compatible for both Apple and Android. And but what we had to do, because we use the native APIs for both Apple and Android, because we wanted to, it would work better for us from the geofence, from the user experience. It would work much better. So we had to use the native APIs in both Apple and Android. So we actually had to write 2 different applications or 4 different applications, because 2 for Apple, 2 for Android. Okay, one care recipient, one caregiver, one care recipient, one caregiver for Apple. And these 2 and 2 had to work together. So you could have a caregiver on Android, care recipient on Apple, or vice versa. So all these combinations had to work. and had to update each other in real time. So that was our initial challenge. That was a challenge initially that we had to test it, and it wasn't more on the development. It was more on the testing, trying to make sure all the combinations are covered and all the updates are happening in real time. The second challenge that actually we had was the care partners, the 10 care partners. How do we keep everybody real-time update is very important. The real-time update. If somebody updates a medication on one phone, 10 other partners have to get the updates in real time. So we had to make sure that, that was not as bad as, having 4 different applications, but making sure the real-time updates happen, it was challenging. And to be honest with you, we keeping the application simple because we think that actually caregivers are young people, but not really. I mean, some of the care recipients are older adults, but the caregivers are. I was a caregiver, and I'm not a young person. And you're talking about older adults that actually caring for their loved one. So you want to make sure that actually the user experience is simple for everybody, not just the care recipient, but caregiver also. You want to make sure that the user experience is very simple. So that was challenging. We removed some of the features initially because we didn't know how to do it simply. We know how to do it technically, but it wasn't simple. Or we also removed some of the features that it would cost a lot. For example, video calling is an important feature for the caregiver. Be able to talk to the care recipient via video. But that's a very costly application. And we didn't want to nickel and dime the care recipient that, okay, you only have 30 minutes of the video call, or you only have 1 hour of video call a month. We didn't want to do that. So we actually didn't launch this feature. However, since then, we have figured out, some applications that actually we could add this video calling maybe in future at a lower cost, that we can make it unlimited. I mean, you want to have unlimited video. If you add video calling, you want to have unlimited video calling for the care recipient and caregiver, and and you don't want to nickel and dime people. So that's why we didn't do it initially. We may do it in future because now we have a better idea how to do it cheaper.
Why would you not think to just use an existing video call app that's already on those people's phones? Like WhatsApp is a free video call app. It's there. And all you have to do is switch into that app. And that's the thing that you're in the video call, and people can move between apps on their phone very easily.
Yeah, no, you could do that. You could do that, but
what feature would you be by building something like that yourself?
No, it wouldn't. But now, first of all, I have to make sure that WhatsApp, for example, is on everybody's phone. Some people may
Their
not
choice.
Huh?
This group would have WhatsApp. That group would have FaceTime. That group would have Facebook Messenger. All of these things. There are more than one.
Yeah, but John, they're all commercial products. What's in it for the other company to let Saeed use their app?
Well,
they're in business to make money.
Well, I have to use their APIs, and it's gonna cost. But beside that,
yeah, but WhatsApp was an application that was developed by a commercial company.
Yeah,
they're in business to make money. They want to sell, they want people to download their app, and they're going to sell their advertising, things like that. What's
But
in it for them?
the customer here, the person being cared for and the person that is the caregiver, they could just go out of the SimpliTend app and use WhatsApp or whatever other thing they want to use anyway.
But they can do it anytime. They can do it anytime. They
Right.
don't need
John,
SimpliTend.
John, I think you're overestimating the ability of the caregiver and the patient, especially the patient.
Well, that's why you would put a button in there that would.
Yeah, but even that, just putting
For
a
me-
button, pressing the button, for you it's easy. But for these people, because I dealt with a lot of these people, it's not so easy.
So you
For
put a
me-
button in and you say, use this app. You
I
build
know,
in
but
the
It's not as
setting.
easy as you think, John.
the
Well, that's
button
why I'm
there-
asking questions like this, like why not?
Yeah. No, I can put a button there, but the button, I need the APIs to connect it to somebody, right? So I have to get the API, for example, from WhatsApp and say, okay, this button would communicate to WhatsApp and send them the contact information or the phone number and initiate a video call. Now, if the person doesn't have that WhatsApp there and they have FaceTime, then I have to have another button there that has the APIs to the FaceTime, then, and initiates that video.
You're right. It's getting complicated because,
Right.
I mean, I can see I just created a shortcut on my Apple phone, on my iPhone. And it was like, well, somebody told me, do this, do this, do this. So setting up a shortcut, if that button just invoked the shortcut, it would go and it would do this and do this and do this. And you would have to have something that installed that shortcut into the phone along with your app. So
And I
it's
have
become complicated.
Yes, and I have to know, or I have to think of many applications that people may have on their phone that using for video calling. I mean, some people use FaceTime, WhatsApp, Messenger, or there could be other video calling that they're using on their phone, and I don't have, or maybe they don't have any, but I have to put, and every one of these APIs that actually I work with the company to give it to me, I have to pay them. I have to pay them money for them for me to use their API, and they have to test it to
What
make
happens
sure
if
I'm
the
not
patient has
abusing it.
dementia? What do you do then?
I'm sorry, what?
What happens if the patient has dementia or something and they just can't handle anything?
Yeah.
Well, they would be someone who is being cared for.
Yeah, but then you don't have video communication. You just have one-way communication. The other guy, the guy with dementia, can't use the phone. It's only the caregiver that can use it. So your idea of video talking doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But the person with dementia is not going to be on their own. The caregiver is going to be. They're going to have a care.
But they're talking about having a video conference. You don't have a video conference if one guy can't handle the phone.
Then the caregiver would handle the. My daughter worked at a nursing home in the dementia unit, and if a person is that far gone, they want to have a call with somebody. They're not making the call by themselves.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to be there to hand them the phone, hit the right buttons,
Yeah,
and the rest of it. They're not thinking about having, you're not going to have a 70, 80, 90-year-old person with Alzheimer's in some nursing home saying, oh, by the way, I want to FaceTime my grandkids. Not likely.
yeah. Somebody else would initiate the video call and then hand them the phone for them to talk.
There certainly is a demand in the world for a tool like this to support people. And there are many circumstances that would be too difficult to deal with. So if you can help somebody, you're doing a big service. This is
Yeah.
is a wonderful tool.